Welcome to part 4 of this Football Manager experiment. If you don't know what this experiment is about, make sure you check out parts 1, 2 and 3. I'll put a link in the description below so you can watch the playlist. In this part 4 I'm going to be doing 2 seasons once again, the 2018-19 and the 2019-2020 season overview. In part 5 I'll be doing 2 seasons once again, so hit that like button if you want part 5 as soon as possible and I'll get it recorded for you. So, we'll start with the Vanarama Conference South as usual, which was won by West Ham United. Fulham once again have just missed out. They finished second 3 seasons in a row, I think. We've got Steve McLaren in charge. So they finished second. Yeah, this was their 3rd season. Finished in second in a row. Mark Noble's their captain. West Ham going up as champions with 105 points. With Gary Monk in charge. Michael Hector's their captain. Harry Maguire as their key player. He's still got a 3.5-star reputation despite being down here a long time. Brighton went up in the playoffs. Any Premier League teams still in here? QPR, real life Premier League teams that is. Histon, Margate and Redditch went down. Weymouth have survived. Hampton and Richmond have survived. That's good to see. Top scorer was this guy for West Ham. Not sure who he is. He's from Venezuela. Alan Nyom was top average rating for West Ham, and most assists was Jason Kennedy for Brentford, who finished down in 6th place. Let's look at the transfers to see what's been going on down here now. Man United signing a player from West Ham for a lot of money. Maybe that allowed them to sign a few players and go up comfortably. Manager movements. Quite a few manager movements in fact going on there. Nigel Clough losing his job at Fulham for poor results. In came Steve McLaren. That was the end of the season, so the reason why that Nigel Clough was sacked because he finished second and didn't go up in the playoffs. That is harsh. Fulham have been very unlucky. Okay, let's go up to the Conference North, which was won by, let's see. Here we go. Norwich, 106 points, 3 ahead of Wolves. Leicester went up in the playoffs, beating the likes of Wolves, Leeds and Huddersfield. Real life Premier League teams have still got Hull City, Aston Villa in there, Burnley as well. Fleetwood, Corby and FC United relegated this time. They managed to survive previously but weren't successful this time round. McGoldrick was top scorer for Norwich. Dimitru for Sheffield Wednesday had the top average rating, and Junior Stanislas with the most assists for Norwich, allowing them to go up to the Conference Premier. Harrogate spending £6 million on a Wolves player. I think they're probably in the Premier League. Spending big. These are manager movements. We see Paul Scholes leave Derby. I wonder where he is now. He was in charge of Whitehawk at one point, I think. And now he's left his job at Derby and doesn't have a job. Let's go up to the Conference Premier then. Everton were comfortably champions of the Vanarama Conference Premier, and Man United have eventually gone up in the playoffs, beating the likes of Liverpool, Stoke and Newcastle. So Liverpool's still in there. They've been stuck there a while, but Man United, they struggled for a few years in this division to get promoted. They finally have, along with Everton. Top scorer Lewis Grabban for Swansea, 33 goals. Joel Ward, top average rating, and John Taylor, most assists for Stoke. Let's have a look at the transfers. Man United spent big on a West Ham player, we see, but they've also sold a couple of players to Arsenal. Whoa, Stephen Colcott, 31.5 million going to Arsenal. They're only a couple divisions above, I think, in the Championship. Michael Keane is also going for a huge amount of money. Man United spent a lot though. Look at that. In the conference, they've spent. How much money have they spent? John Coleman's still in charge, by the way. 55.5 million, but they did sell £81 million worth of players. So they've actually made their net amount was less, minus 30 almost, minus 25, something like that. So wow, still 4.5-star reputation. They're rich, but they finally got promoted, and you can see them going up every single season now, most probably. Glenn Hoddle in charge of Bristol City. Chris Powell losing his job. Well, Paul Mariner's left Everton despite the fact they went up. Interesting. Maybe he was retired or something. Okay, so League 2 was won by Man City, and Southampton also went up comfortably. That's predictable. The two teams coming out of the conference are most likely to just keep going up to the top now. Plymouth went up in the 3rd automatic place, and Tranmere won the playoffs. Barnet and Eastleigh were relegated Unfortunate for them. Berahino, top scorer for Man City, 38 goals, top average rating, and Lewis Cook with the most assists as well. So let's look at Man City and see what's been happening to them. They've got Zidane in charge still, 3.5-star reputation. Chris Cohen is their captain. Ashley Williams is their assistant. Southampton have Nick Barmby in charge. James Milner is their captain and their key player. Their reputation's dropped to 2.5 stars. League One was won by Tottenham, and West Brom also went up. Like I said, the two teams going up from the conference are most likely to rise together through the leagues at this point, because they're going to have better finances, unless of course things go wrong for them in one of these divisions and some of the teams filtering down have a bit of money to pip them to the post perhaps. But Spurs comfortably won the league, didn't lose a single game all season, 132 points. But well done to West Brom for going up as well. Carl Robinson in charge of Spurs. They've still got Aaron Creswell as captain. Brad Hangeland, he must be ancient. He's 37. John Stones is their key player. Top scorer Adam Lafondra for West Brom. John Stones. In fact, the 4 players in the average rating list were Spurs players. Boston United also went up in the playoffs, I forgot to mention. In fact, we didn't actually look at... It was relegated. Getting ahead of myself here. Barrow, Forest Green, Halifax and Farnborough relegated. I think they started quite high up, those teams. So, the Championship, predictably once again, Chelsea and Arsenal champion. Well, top 2 going up automatically. Chelsea don't lose a single game. Grimsby went up in the playoffs. Colwyn Bay, Bradford, PA and Hamilton Waterloo going down. So I don't know if this is really that much different to the last experiment. There's a few differences with Man United and Liverpool getting stuck in the conference for a while. Chelsea and Arsenal are the 2 teams that scampered away at the start and are going up. West Brom are actually the 4th best team, just behind Spurs, which is unusual. So there are a few differences. We saw Villa get relegated early on. There's a few differences in who's winning the Premier League and the Cups. But it's not hugely different. The players are completely different. Of course, we started with no players at any of the teams. So we've got Jordan Rhodes at Chelsea scoring 30 goals, along with Dybala. So Rhodes, the Championship specialist. Ings as well with 26. Top 3 Chelsea players. Danny Welbeck, 4th top scorer. Russell Ridley, top assist though for Hemel Hempstead. So well done to him. But yeah, not a huge amount of difference. Steve Bruce has come in to... manage Arsenal because Camacho retired. So it's not the end of the world that there's not a huge number of differences, because you guys, I think, are finding this interesting nonetheless. Wanted me to do more videos on the last experiment anyway, so I've pretty much obliged by doing a new one with a slight difference. There's a bit of a different database for you to play on. Hopefully it'll be equally fun, if not more fun, because you're able to sign whoever you want at the start. Maybe, well, of course it's tough in the first season with no money, but after the first season you should be fine to sign lots of interesting players. So the Premier League was won by Bristol Rovers. They've won it twice now out of 3 times. Lowestoft have won it the other 3 times. Stockport 2nd, Lowestoft 3rd, Bishop Stortford 4th. There's only 2 Champions League places at the moment, and 3 teams have qualified for the Euro Cup. I suppose that's down to cup performance. Bournemouth, Leamington and Hyde relegated with 7 points. They had a very poor season. Wonder what happened to them. But they really flopped. 2-star reputation. They are rich, so wonder how well they're doing the Championship. But very, very poor performance from them this year. Bristol Rovers, let's see what's going on there. Paul Lambert in charge. Got Andrea Ranaccia, their captain. Craig Gordon as assistant. Key players Joe Allen, and he's led them to a Premier League title. 3.5-star reputation. They're rich. Their staff. This is their staff, if you're interested in that sort of thing. But we'll have a look at the transfers in the Premier League now, see what's been happening. So top guy was to Harrogate, 26.5 million. They've spent a lot of money, haven't they? Chelmsford have spent quite a bit. Bristol Rovers in there, Lowestoft as well. But Harrogate have spent a lot of money. 74 million in fact, and they only finished 14th. So maybe they're building for the future. Perhaps next year they'll be a force to reckon with. We shall see. Top goal scorer Harry Kane, 25 goals, and Balotelli for Lowestoft as well, 22 goals. Chelmsford have the 2 top average ratings. Nathan Redmond for Lowestoft has the most assists. So the FA Cup was won by Bristol Rovers 5-1 against Lowestoft in the final, so they've got the league and cup double there. Drinkwater, Mitrovic, Rolando Aarons, goals there. James Wilson for Lowestoft. Interesting team lineups as well for you to look at. The Capital One Cup won by Chelsea 3-1 in extra time against Southend United. The Community Shield was won by Bristol Rovers 2-1 against Lowestoft. They've had a very successful season this season. Not sure Bristol City fans will like watching this series. Man City, champions of the Johnson's Paint Trophy, beating Stevenage 3-0. And the FA Trophy was won by Norwich 3-1 against Man United. So well done to Norwich for that. We'll have a look at the Champions League, see if our teams managed to be a bit more successful this year. Then the Euro Cup, and then we'll go on to the next season. After that, we'll look at sort of club coefficients, the England team, the usual things. Bayern Munich have won it 2 times in a row now. Let's have a look at the groups. Where did I guys finish? We may only have had one team in there. Lowestoft bottom of their group with 1 point. Not such a good performance from them guys. And the English reputation, the Premier League reputation, will continue to drop if we have poor Champions League campaigns. Dynamo won the Euro Cup. How did the English teams do? Let's see. Bristol Rovers top of their group, so they've done okay to get through that. Stockport third. Are there any other guys in there? Can't see anyone. But let's go back and see how far Bristol Rovers managed to get. In the last series, we did see, I think, AFC Fylde get to the final of the Euro Cup 3 times. They got knocked out by Rubin in extra time, in fact, or away goals. So they did okay. Bristol Rovers are improving, which is good to see. So here's the end of the 2019-20 season. We saw QPR and Ipswich go up. QPR's champions just ahead of Ipswich by 2 goals and goal difference. Ipswich went up in the playoffs. Dorchester, Weymouth and St Neots going down. Top scorer Ryan O'Neill and Hallam Hope with 24, and Sean Miller actually with 24. Let's have a look at the transfers. Fulham missed out a game, by the way, which is disappointing for them. Still quite a bit of money being spent in these divisions. QPR spending quite a lot to go up. Manager movements. Steve McLaren lost his job as Fulham manager. Conference North. Middlesbrough champions, 1 point ahead of Sheffield Wednesday, and Villa have gone up in the playoffs. They got relegated at 1 point out of this division, of course. They've done well to recover. Burnley's still in there. They're the lowest real-life Premier League team. Blackburn struggling a bit as well. Oh, Hull City in there still. Leeds still in this division as well. Matt Smith and Ahern Grant, top scorers. Let's go up to the Conference Premier, which was won by West Ham. They've gone up 2 seasons in a row, 2 points ahead of Norwich. Swansea also going up in the playoffs. Newcastle still stuck there. Liverpool down in 11th. What has happened to them? We haven't looked at them in detail yet. Tony Mowbray's in charge of Liverpool. Darren Fletcher is their vice-captain and key player, despite he must be old. Tom Huddleston is their captain. 1.5-star reputation. Secure finances. Their team has really suffered. John Ruddy in goal is a good goalkeeper. We've got Shane Long. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to them. Liverpool, perhaps the biggest casualty of this series, because they went up quite comfortably early on in the last series. So what will happen to them? Will they be a team that just turns into a conference team even? Maybe they'll eventually go up over the years. We shall find out. David McGoldrick, top scorer again, along with Shane Long for Liverpool. So they've got a goal scorer there. League 2, won by Man United. They're going to completely fly up now, aren't they? They only drew 1 game and won 45, lost 0. Only conceded 9 goals all season. That is ridiculous. Everton went up with them in the second place, automatic place, and Exeter third. Barry went up in the playoffs. Dover and Kidderminster went down. Look at all those Man United goal scorers there. Luke Edinburgh for Exeter, top scorer though. He's a regen. We can't actually see his stats. I thought I selected that we could see them, but that's strange. John Flanagan, top average rating. In fact, I don't know what's happened. I think my manager has vanished off the game, and I can't see anything at the moment. Here we go. I've added a new manager in, and Luke Edinburgh looks quite good for an 18-year-old, doesn't he? John Flanagan, top average rating, and John J. Shelby, most assists. He's really done well there. But Man United are probably going to go up to the Premier League within a couple of seasons now. After this, let's see League One then. Man City and Southampton going up once again, predictably. So, but only just Southampton finishing ahead of Northampton and Portsmouth. Rochdale going up in the playoffs. Torquay, North Ferriby have gone down again. Colwyn Bay and AFC Telford going down. Top scorer Jay Rodriguez for Man City. James Tavernier was a top average rating, and Aaron Lennon most assists for Man City. Up to the Championship we go, which was won by Tottenham. Boreham Wood going up as well. I think they were relegated, and West Brom only just going up in the playoffs, beating Ebbsfleet 2-0 in the final. Ebbsfleet have been unlucky, I think. Maidenhead, Gloucester and Eastbourne going down. So West Brom got a bit lucky there. They may have been the first team to get up to the Championship and not get promoted from it, but they were successful. I assume Man City and Southampton will probably go up next year from the Championship as well, unless the teams coming down from the Premier League have quite a bit of money now, which they may well do. So Tottenham comfortably going back up. They're going to be the third team, along with West Brom as the fourth team to be in the Premier League. Back up there. Arsenal and Chelsea, top two. You could predict that, couldn't you? Arsenal champions, though, ahead of Chelsea, who only finished 2 points ahead of Stockport. So those two teams will be in the Champions League next year. Chelmsford City going down. They've had a poor time since doing very well up there early on, and now have really suffered, which is sad to see. Oxford and Grimsby going down. Lowestoft down in fourth. Bristol Rovers down in fifth. The biggest loss of form there, I would say. Top scorer Fabio Barini for Stockport. Harry Kane doing well for Lowestoft still. Phil Jones, top average rating for Chelsea. Carlos Fierro's at Chelsea now. Let's look at the transfers. Assume Arsenal and Chelsea spent quite a bit of money probably. Yeah, Chelsea spent quite a lot on Carlos Fierro. Arsenal spent a lot on Dybala from Chelsea. Chelsea, lots of money there. They bought Sam Byron from Chelmsford. Lots of Arsenal and Chelsea in there. Now they're back, which is a shame. They're probably going to win it every year now. Arsenal and Chelsea, just like the last episode, or last series, in fact. Now, someone mentioned I should just make all the reputations of the team the same. Now, that is a future experiment. At some point, that's another idea. That will maybe create an even more level playing field. As you can see, the competition reputation has really dropped. It's down to 7th, which isn't really low, but it's below the Portuguese Premier League now. If we look at the clubs, let's look at the finances. Chelsea are up there, Arsenal are up there, Man United are up there, despite being down in, just being promoted from League 2. But Bristol Rovers in 17th, Man City, Tottenham, Southend, 142 million, Shrewsbury, Lowestoft, Staines, Stockport. Some interesting teams up there, isn't there? Club coefficients, highest English team is all the way down in, we've been past anyone? Lowestoft. Liverpool are somehow 73rd despite struggling in the conference. That's weird. I think they actually got into a European competition by winning a cup at some point, I think. Arsenal there as well. Can't see any other English teams. No. Well, there we go. It may change next season with Chelsea and Arsenal in the Champions League. Top transfers in the world. Oh, we can't see it. No, that's weird. So the FA Cup was won by Peterborough, 4-1 against Wrexham. That is good to see. Where are Peterborough? They are in the Premier League. I didn't realise that. They won 4-1 against Wrexham in the final. Chalobah with a goal, Ben Davies with a goal as well. Let's go down to the League Cup, which was won by Peterborough as well. They've won the Cup double, beating Bristol Rovers on penalty. So well done to Peterborough this season. They've had a good campaign. They've been promoted a few seasons in a row and now doing okay in the Premier League and winning a couple of cups. Fantastic. Community Shield won by Bristol Rovers 3-2 against Stockport. Johnston's Paint Trophy was won by Man United against Southampton 2-1. FA Trophy won by Crystal Palace against Burnley 2-0. The Champions Cup was won by Real Madrid this time. They've been in the final nearly every year, I think. But let's have a look at the groups. Probably only one team in there now. Let's see, English team. Bottom of the group, Bristol Rovers, behind Copenhagen. Disappointing from them. Euro Cup won by Chelsea. Well done. So they got in there because of the cup that they won last year. Or did they win the League Cup? I can't remember. But they've won the Euro Cup and finished second in the league. Carlos Fierro with the winner. And they've got a very English team there, actually. Chambers, Jones, Klein, Ings. Unusual. Quite a few English players in there. We'll have a look at the England team in a minute. Let's just go back to see if any other English teams got through. Oh, Bishop Stortford. Wait, they won in the quarter-final. Who did they lose against in the semi-final? Oh, they lost against Chelsea. Wow, well done to Bishop Stortford for getting to the semi-final of the Euro Cup. That's brilliant. Well done. They finished 10th in the league, but they've got through to the semi-final of the Euro Cup. That is fantastic. Let's look at the England team then. Who's in charge? Paco Ayastari. They're 9th in the world. We'll look at the World Cup and that sort of thing in a minute. This is the competition reputation. Premier League 3.5 stars, Championship 2.5. Let's look at the squad. Oh, the top teams, Bristol Rovers and Lowestoft, have made it into it now. Jason Steele, Sam Johnstone's in there. Lots of Chelsea and Man United players. Lowestoft have this guy, Lascales. Nottingham Forest player in real life, I think. Luke Shaw's at AC Milan. Trippier, Stockport. Will Hughes at Stockport. And Harry Kane at Lowestoft. Jordan Henderson still at Celtic. And Daniel Sturridge is still at Tottenham. So this year it is the Euro 2020 tournament. England have a group with Bosnia, Germany and Sweden. Italy won the last one. Italy also won the last World Cup, 2-1 against England in the final. I wonder if this has actually helped England's development, like English players' development. They're playing at a higher level now. They appear to be in the Premier League and the main players in the Premier League, the ones that have made it up and moved to teams in the top division or moved abroad even. And perhaps it has benefited the team. They're unlucky not to win this. They took the lead in the 84th minute, but they equalised and Insigne scored the winner in extra time. So that is unfortunate for them. They did well. The Golden Ball won by Messi this year. Martin Odegaard actually was second. Let's have a look at him quickly. He's at Real Madrid. Oh, looks very good, doesn't he? But he hasn't won it every year. We've seen Ronaldo and Berardi winning it. Let's have a look at, well, Player of the Year. There's a mix here as well. We've seen Ronaldo, Tevez, Berardi, Messi in there. Well, Team of the Year. Have a quick look. Some of the teams and players in there. Di Maria's gone back to Corinthians. Let's go back in time. We're not going to see a Lowestoft player in there, are we? Unfortunately, or Bristol Rovers. Well, that's the end of this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. And this was part 4, so part 5 is next, believe it or not. And I'll be doing another 2 seasons. After that, probably give you the option of maybe saying, oh, can we have 3-5 seasons in the future episodes? But part 5 will be 2 more seasons. Probably see the likes of Man City, Southampton, Man United get up there eventually. But thank you for watching. Please leave a like and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'll see you in part 5, guys.